Welcome to week 3. This week, we will consider some of the human rights impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. As with other weeks, we cannot hope to be comprehensive, but most of the issues we touch on here tie in with some of the materials we have already covered in other weeks of this 12-week course. We will consider the impact of COVID-19 on the poor and on inequality. We will also consider the impact that emergency legal provisions passed to tackle the transmission of the virus have had on democracy and democratic processes. We will examine the consequences of austerity on the ability of states to rise to the demands of the pandemic, and we will discuss some of the disparate impacts of the pandemic on different groups of people. First, let us hear from someone who has been directly affected.
My name is Kathy and I live in the UK. Until 2020, I worked in a cafe as a waitress for many years, and my husband Dave was a hospital cleaner. Dave used to clean the high dependency wards and the intensive care units at our local hospital. At the start, he was employed by the NHS and was treated well and had good benefits. Then the NHS outsourced the cleaning to a private company, so Dave had to go to work for them. His working conditions got really bad, and he lost the benefits he used to have with the NHS. Over time, his pay suffered a lot too. When the pandemic hit, his company forced all the cleaners to carry on working without any PPE. I was so worried for him. Dave had a pre-existing health condition, but his employer didn't want to know. They said, "You carry on cleaning or you lose your job. We have 2 school-age kids, so we have to keep working." But then, our worst nightmare. Dave contracted COVID-19 in April 2020. He died 3 weeks later. I'm devastated at losing Dave, and so are the kids. As if this wasn't enough, because of lockdown, the cafe I worked in went out of business, so I lost my job in May 2020. I've been out of work ever since, and I've been on state benefits. My life went from being pretty much okay to being really terrible because of COVID.
Many politicians have claimed we're all in this together, yet there are many ways in which we have not been in this together. Some people have been much more vulnerable than others. Why is this the case? Next week is our last week together. We will look to the future, and you will think about the part that you can play to make the world a better place.